AI is not replacing coaches, it's just silently exposing the bad ones. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what the best of the best in the coaching space know that others clearly don't. Most of the conversations being had around artificial intelligence and the coaching industry aren't necessarily incorrect, but they are incomplete because good coaches have absolutely nothing to worry about. And not only that, they should actually expect a surge in business over time. It's the coaches who were always replaceable, even before AI came on the scene, that should be concerned. And here's the interesting part. Many of the coaches at risk of being replaced don't even realize it's happening. They don't appear vulnerable on the surface. They're not the newest. They're not inexperienced. Many of them have years in the game. They have strong books of business and large social media presences, and they're still vulnerable. So I want to share with you the 3 things that bad coaching and AI have in common, as well as what the great coaches do instead. Now, these distinctions are what separate coaches who will thrive well into the future from coaches whose days are numbered. And if you're interested in insights you can't get anywhere else, check out the Prosperous newsletter, which I publish every single week. You can find the link in the description. So here's the point. If you're still just selling information and you haven't yet made the shift, first of all, your clients know something is up, even if they can't quite put their finger on exactly what it is. But in addition to that, you're not going to get any referrals, which is the best way to build your business, and the renewal conversation is not going to happen. Now, whether or not you officially consider yourself to be a coach isn't the issue, because if people come to you for help navigating personal or professional challenges, then you're doing some form of coaching. But the real question is, what do you bring to the table that artificial intelligence can't? If you're not able to answer that question without hesitation, then these next few minutes are going to be very uncomfortable for you, but I mean that in a good way, because we're not just going to talk about the problem. By the end of this video, you're going to have the tools you need, so no matter how far technology advances, you'll be irreplaceable. The first thing that AI and bad coaching have in common is solving the stated problem. People feed AI what they think the problem is, and AI simply responds to that prompt. Well, bad coaches do the exact same thing. A client shows up, they share the problem, and the bad coach responds to the named problem. And that is not coaching, that's co-signing. A great coach not only listens to what the client says, they listen for what the client doesn't say. They go deeper. Even if the client doesn't want to go deeper, even if it gets a little bit uncomfortable, they have a job to do. They want to serve that client by helping them get to the root of the problem. The client might think they have a marketing problem, but in listening to what the client says and having them expand a little bit, they're going to challenge them to see why they believe it's a marketing problem. Ultimately, it may end up being that no matter how much marketing you do, it's not going to work for the offer because it's a bad offer. People come up with beliefs all the time, and sometimes they will even push you. They will fight you on a belief, and then you ask them why they believe it, and they can't answer the question. Now, here's a natural consequence of that, because even as a coach, when you're able to see what a client can't see, you can't stop there. That is not enough. You have to hold them accountable to it. You have to make sure that they follow through and they don't deviate, which leads me to my second point, which is logging sessions. Now, AI can send reminders, it can check in, it can follow up, but bad coaches can do that too. And going back to my previous point, if you're just co-signing what they say to be true, then you're not building trust. And if you haven't built trust and you're just checking in, then you're not holding people accountable. Because accountability without trust is just surveillance. You're just watching what they're doing, but they're not committed to you and they're not committed to your methods. Real accountability is not tracking behavior. It's carrying the weight of someone else's commitment when they put it down. When they feel like quitting, you have to be the one that says to keep going. You have to remember what they said 6 months ago and they're trying to act like they didn't say it, but you want to remind them that you haven't forgotten what they said and that you're going to hold them to it. That's the main thing that separates just logging sessions from making sure that people are still committed to the overall task, because tactics can change, but your commitment never changes. So maybe there's a set of things that you were going to do over a particular period of time to reach an outcome, but with new information, you may need to change that. Now, is it important to track progress and check in on them as people? Of course it is. I'm just making the point that you can't let them off the hook by doing that, and everything you do has to be infused with the goal of building trust, because ultimately, if you don't have that, you don't have a coaching relationship. The third thing that AI and bad coaching have in common is that they both will coach the symptom. When you coach the symptom and don't really focus on the root cause, you're doing the greatest disservice you can probably do in any coaching or counseling relationship. Finding out what's really going on, unpacking beliefs, and some of those beliefs may go back to childhood that you really have to get down to the root of in order to help people grow and to help people overcome what could be some of the greatest business challenges, personal challenges, or any other challenges in their lives. The questions that nobody will ask them, maybe people are afraid to ask them, are the ones you have a responsibility to ask in order to get down to the cause. So making sure that the client doesn't think that the strategy failed them or the accountability failed them. Maybe the intervention that you need to have with them will lead you to what is actually failing them. But if they say they tried everything, challenge the assumption, because if you think of all of the things you could attempt in any situation, have most people really tried everything? Have they tried everything to lose weight? Have they tried everything to find the right person for them? Have they tried everything to get their finances in order? It's something that we say kind of tongue in cheek, but people actually believe that they've tried everything and they want to quit. And that's when your job is to step in and make sure that you ask, so what's missing? And just how much effort did you put into all of the things that you allegedly tried? So when you're looking to solve the symptom, you're really just leaving clients hanging, and they're never going to have the confidence that you're leading them down the right path. Because coaching should be uncomfortable, it should be difficult, it should be challenging. Because if it weren't, then no one would need to hire you or me in the first place. And that's what it takes to help people get the ultimate results that they want to get. If you've ever played a sport, you understand what transferring conviction is. Your coach may want to push you further than you've ever gone before, but it's not to make you miserable, it's to make you great. It's to draw out of you that thing in you that you didn't even know was in you. And then once you do it once, twice, or even more than that, it becomes easy. It goes from being a test to being an exercise. Now I want to know one thing from you, and I want you to be specific. Leave a comment and let me know what the one thing is that you know you bring to the table that AI can't replicate. And this may be your superpower and you may not even realize it. So hopefully the information I've shared with you so far shows that there's a very important distinction that needs to be made if you want to be successful in the future. And once again, you may not officially consider yourself a coach, but if people come to you for advice, then you have to be able to understand how to bring insights to them that they can't get anywhere else. And that is going to make you more and more valuable over time. So this is Ralph. Thank you very much for tuning in. Always remember that faith plus work equals success. Please give this video a like as well as consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time. God bless.